Serving as Supreme Chancellor of the Galactic Senate in public and Sith Lord Darth Sidious in the shadows, Palpatine was the true mastermind of the Sith Grand Plan. Through his machinations, he was able to manipulate the destruction of the Jedi Order, the fall of the Republic, and the rise of his galactic empire. However, one of Palpatine's most impressive achievements, arguably the most important one, was the manipulation of the Chosen One, Anakin Skywalker, who would one day become Darth Vader. Over the course of 13 years, Palpatine would groom Anakin, shaping him into a Sith apprentice. Due to Anakin's already present inner turmoil, fear, and conflict, Palpatine was able to manipulate him quite easily. How this was done, as well as the intricacies of their relationship, are explained in the canon book Skywalker: A Family at War. When the calm, caring, guiding influence of Shmi and Qui-Gon was gone, two very different individuals stepped into the breach to fill the emotional void in Anakin's life. The first was his new master, Obi-Wan Kenobi. The second was Sheev Palpatine. The Chancellor watched Anakin's journey with detached attentiveness. His exalted position gave Palpatine almost unrestricted political power and unlimited access to the Jedi Masters and their abilities. With a benevolent smile plastered across his wrinkled face, Palpatine could walk into the Jedi Temple at any time, and turn a kindly offer of helping to shape Anakin's future into a command that not even Mace Windu could refuse. Unbeknown to the Galactic Republic and everyone else, Palpatine was secretly a Sith Lord. A cloud of the dark side's making concealed this fact from even the most experienced Jedi Masters, who sensed something nefarious at work but could not trace its source. Thus, Palpatine enjoyed the protection of the Jedi instead of their enmity. Well aware that Anakin had helped end the Trade Federation's blockade and invasion of Naboo, the devious Sith used this knowledge to insert himself into Anakin's life just as the young Padawan was questioning his place among the Jedi. Because no one within the Order, not even Obi-Wan, sensed his true intentions, Palpatine prepared Anakin for a dark future as his Sith apprentice with impunity. Skywalker's skill with a lightsaber and volatile personality made him the ideal candidate. While becoming one of Anakin's closest confidants, the calculating politician schemed to instill a dangerous sense of ambition in the already arrogant boy. As Anakin neared his teenage years, his roiling emotions called for the steady calm of Qui-Gon Jinn. Sheev Palpatine was a willing and welcoming substitute. When he called Anakin's son, the boy felt that he would do anything for him, just for the chance to feel part of a family. Using the seedy underworld of Coruscant as his classroom, Palpatine opened the young man's eyes to the suffering of those dwelling on the planet's lowest levels, far below the glittering cities where Palpatine ruled over the Senate and Anakin studied in the sacred Jedi Temple. Many residents of these gloomy subsurface levels had never even seen sunlight, a tragedy that a boy raised beneath the twin suns of Tatooine couldn't even imagine. Palpatine claimed these expeditions were a way of understanding some of the less fortunate inhabitants of the Republic's core world. In truth, they were ploys, tests, to not only see if Anakin was pliant, but to expose Anakin to the hypocrisies inherent in the Republic that, Palpatine confidently expected, would one day lead him to reject the Jedi Code. Right under the nose of Republic officials, sentient beings were being bought and sold as slaves in this hopeless district, a disturbing reminder of Anakin's own past. Although the young man claimed to rarely think about his childhood enslavement after his induction into the Order, Palpatine saw through the lie and into Anakin's heart, where he still hoped to help his mother and free other slaves, not only on Tatooine, but all across the galaxy. With a benevolent sigh, Palpatine deftly probed Anakin's insecurities while praising the boy in the ways he craved. This was the first, but certainly not the last, time that Palpatine would feed Anakin's ego. Palpatine frequently hailed the young man as the most gifted Jedi he had ever met. To Anakin, Palpatine's praise, pointed questions, and insightful observations seemed to forge a strong connection, a bond that he rarely enjoyed with his fellow Jedi. Bit by bit, Palpatine cunningly stoked the young man's disillusion with the status quo on Coruscant's surface, where prosperity reigned, without a thought to the less fortunate souls below. This fresh way of thinking validated and mirrored many of Anakin's own concerns. He never suspected that Palpatine was quietly clawing at his emotional wounds. In this way, Palpatine forged the first link in this bond between himself and the young man he genially referred to as his boy. He made Anakin promise that he would not disclose what he had seen or learned on the sub-levels when he returned to the temple. It would be their secret. Knowing Anakin's doubts and fears enabled Palpatine to more easily expose the cracks in the boy's will, allowing the darkness in. Palpatine would sometimes confess to being wistfully envious of the predetermined life of a Jedi, when all of his own life had been made up of tough choices. Though Palpatine's words were seemingly kindly meant, to Anakin, the ability to choose his destiny was a freedom he was reluctant to relinquish. He had chosen to walk the Jedi path, but since his acceptance in the Order, every decision had been made for him. And in hindsight, even that first step seemed like a childish choice, made on a whim by an uneducated young slave because a magical man with a weapon made of light had offered him the chance to be free. Intellectually, Anakin knew that he was no prisoner. He could leave the Order at any time. But Palpatine's words struck home. The course of Anakin's life would indeed be predetermined if he remained on the path to become a Jedi Master. While Obi-Wan earnestly believed that being a part of the Jedi Order made him stronger than being an individual, Anakin felt more at ease being one half of a whole, even with all of his skills and talents. Anakin was quickly learning that the life of a peacekeeper was not free. A Jedi was devoted to the Order, and as such had to obey the Jedi Council, even when an individual's personal convictions clashed with their guidance. Far below the surface of Coruscant, Palpatine had surreptitiously exposed a different ideological path to the insecure Jedi. Under the sway of the Supreme Chancellor, skilled in the art of suggestion, Anakin was a more than willing recipient of the older man's insinuations. Anakin, with Obi-Wan's guidance, ultimately resolved to continue on the path toward becoming a Jedi Knight. But most importantly to him, Palpatine had offered him a place by his side once his training was complete. An alternate future, a door to be opened if Anakin desired after he had mastered all the Jedi had to offer. On the surface, Palpatine seemed to be promising the young man the sense of belonging that he searched for. In reality, Palpatine saw Anakin as a powerful tool for his master plan, a new galactic empire with himself as supreme ruler. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and may the Force be with you.